time. Welcome back, everyone. In last lecture, we have seen some of the concepts of Angular, including the decorators, components, modules, and some other data binding techniques, routing, etc. In this lecture, what we will see, we will go through directives, which what are the directives, the types of directives. Then we will go through the services, how to create a service, and what are the built-in services and how can we use those services. Then we will understand the concept of dependency injection, and after understanding the concept of dependency injection, we will see the pipes. So let's start. Basically, directives are a way out which provides you an enhanced HTML facility to add some of such concepts which are actually not the part of your HTML. So, custom attributes that enhance HTML syntax and are used to attach behaviors to specific elements on a page. Angular lets you extend HTML with new attributes called directives. And Angular have some built-in directives, and you can create your own directives. So if we say we are talking about our own directives, so we can create those directives, and that directives are just basically a component without any view, without any template HTML. So that class will be imported into other modules, and other module or other components, and will be used accordingly. The built-in directives are always started with ng. So we will see how those directives will be used. Directive in Angular is a JS class which is declared at the rate directives. So let's see how directives works. If we say about, if we look at a custom directive, then what is custom directive and how it works. A custom directive is the directive which you create, and you create to reuse that in other components, so that that directive will be used. Just think of a functionality which is required in every component. For example, making a specific type of background of things. So to create such type of background, you just need to create your own directives, and you will call that directive into different components, and that directive will be available, and that functionality will be applied to those directives. So you can apply the behavior, just import the directive to all components and apply that behavior to all the components. So you can apply the same behavior to other components if you want to apply it. So it is actually the reusability of the code that can be applied to multiple components. We typically associate directive to existing element by using attribute selectors. We have basically our structural level directives, built-in structural level directives, and we have attribute level directives. We will see how they are different, and then we will see an example of custom directive. How can we create our own directive? So let's start. We have attribute level directives, that is just like ng class, ng style. We have structural level directives, ng if, ng for, ng switch, and we can create our own directives like a highlighter, a drop down, or anything like this. You can create your own directives. So first of all, we will see the structural directives. Structural directives basically allows you to manipulate the DOM. It provides you the facility to add some element into the DOM or remove some element into the DOM from the DOM. So those are called the structural directives, which can access the DOM and can remove and add elements in that DOM. So we will explore built-in directives just like ngif, ngfor, ngwhich, andngswitch. Static is actually a structural directives indication. It is used with ngif, ngfor. We will see it. Like we take the example of ng for. For ng-for is a structural directive which is used just like for loop. We can use it just as we use a for loop. In this, like we are taking an example of an array of strings. In it we have three elements: Angular, React and Ember, and we have created this framework array, and now we want to apply ng-for directives. So what we did, we applied that directive in an li. So li will be repeated. The tag in which that basically directive is applied will be repeated multiple times for loop, just like for loop. So in this directive, what we are doing, li ng-for let framework of frameworks, and this frameworks is an array. So we are taking an element of that array, and what we are doing, we are interpolating we are displaying that variable framework using interpolation. So this li will be repeatedly call every element of the an array and print it out on the screen. So by using this, you can apply a for loop in your HTML. We will definitely look into this while we will do practically. So it is so simple. You just pick up an array or a list of object or whatever it is, a list of array of objects. It can be array of objects, it can be array of string, it can be array of integer, etc. You just name name the array, and you will pick just one variable from it with the word let, and you can apply it in a loop. So this is the way with which we can apply for loop. For to get an index along with the array, we can use a built-in word that is called index. In this example, you can see an li ng-for let person of people. People is an array, and we are picking one element at a time, and we are also picking the index of that element with the variable I, and we are displaying it I plus 1 because array starts from 0. We want to show it from 1, so we are adding one element into the index, and we are displaying 1 with the name, 2 with the name, and 3 with the name. In this case, you can see this person is an object, and we are displaying a specific property of that object. So actually people is a array of objects, and we are picking one object at a time, and we are displaying its property here. Same, we can do it in a loop, a double loop. So what we are doing, we are picking a country, and in it we are again picking one specific people and then the person. So that is basically loop within loop. So you can make the group of this thing. Like in this case, if you see people by country, we are picking group, and against the group, what we are doing, group dot people, we are picking our specific people, specific person's information, and that is also an object, and we are displaying that. So this is also a way out with which we can do just like nested for loop. Then the second directive is ngIf. ngIf, it is just like if condition. We provide the condition. If it is true, then this div will be displayed. If this condition is not true, this div will not be executed. So this is basically conditional display of elements. Like if you want to display some specific div against a specific variable, so you can apply this, you can put this variable here, a boolean variable. If that variable is you can put a boolean variable or a complete condition here. So if that condition satisfies, this part of the code will be executed and will be displayed, else this part of the code will not be displayed. So these are the structural directive of for and if. And switch, it is same as if. The difference is here we are putting a variable, and for different value of that variable we are displaying different things. So we can apply switch also. if this then do this, if this then this, if this then this. So this is the case. You can use switch, you can use if, you can use for. These are all basically adding elements into the DOM at runtime. Other than these built-in directives, we have attribute level directives. They can't add basically element into the DOM, but they can change the behavior or appearance of an existing element. If an existing element is there, it can change the behavior of this. We have seen one of them is ng model in our last example, in our last lecture, where we have implemented ng model. We are associating a specific variable with a specific input type, and that is one way to see this that ng model. It is actually an attribute level directive. Other directives are ng style. We can apply a specific style depending on some condition. So ng style can be used like just like this p ng style, and what we are doing, we are calling a function. If the function is returning some color red or green, if the length is framework dot length is greater than 3, it will return red, else it will return green, and on that basis the style of my this paragraph will be decided. So this is the way out with which you can apply ng style. Same ng class, you can change the class of an attribute runtime, just like there is two css classes, dot red and dot bolder. These classes can be applied on basis of some condition. So we will apply ng class, and we are calling basically a method, and against that method we are checking some value, and that returns the class of the method, and that class is actually will be applied on this paragraph. So these are all attribute level directives. Now we can create our own directives. To create our own directives, what we have to do, we have to basically create a new directive. To create a new directive, you have two way out. One is you just go there and type in your command prompt ng generate directives and the name of the directive. For example, if we are creating a directive to highlight something, we are creating with the name app-highlight. So you will write the command ngg directives app-highlight. It will create a directive into your app directory. In other case, if you don't write this way, you can just go to your app directory and create a file with the app-highlight.directives.ts. So what we have performed, we have created a ts file either directly or through script. If we use a script, it will automatically add the information into our module.ts. If we don't use the you don't use the script, in this way out we have to enter the information of this app highlight into the app module. We will see how it can be done. So to add the information into app.module, you have to import that directive, and you have to import and you have to provide the information in the declaration part of that app module.ts. Now how to create a directive. In our directive file, what we need to import is element ref. Element ref is actually a reference to the elements of the DOM. Element ref will provide you all the DOM structure into your application. You can use this element ref to do any information to manipulate that DOM. So we need to import element ref from Angular core along with the directive. A directive will be already imported while you will create this directive through script, and we are giving the name app highlighter. Then we are declaring a class in its constructor. What we are doing, we are basically providing the dependency injection. We'll learn it in a little while. We are injecting element ref class into our constructor of this class. Then we are using this element ref class to access the native element on which this function will be called, or this directive will be called dot style dot background. We are changing the background of that element to blue. So what we are doing, we are applying a specific color while this directive will be called. and where we want to apply this color, how we will use in the HTML file of that component. In the tag, what we will do, app highlight. App highlight is actually our directive which we have created. So it alternatively calls this directive and apply the blue background to this highlight me. So this is the way out with which we can create our own directives. This is all about directives. Now sorry, one more thing, ng non-bindable. If we want to put some syntax that like this, uh, uh, double curly braces shows that it is interpolation, but if you want to put show that interpolation onto the screen, like to render the name variable, we use this syntax, and we don't want to convert it, or we don't want to basically convert this name into a value, but we are just want to display this name as it is on the screen. To do this, we have to put ng non-bindable into the pre-tag. So by using this, it will not convert the name into the value, but it will display as it is. So this is the way out. It is just like a quotation backslash with which we bypass a while letter. So same, we are bypassing a specific angular way out which convert a variable into a value. So this is ng non-bindable. After that, the second concept is service. We will see it in our next part. So let's meet in our next part.